चुबारे इश्क दे मैं चढ़ी चुबारे इश्क दे मैनू नीवा लगे जान
जी सामाइन, तो ये थी हमारी नूर जहां, जिसे आपने सुना अपने रफ़ाकत भाई के लिए। ये मैंने इसे पेश किया, उम्मीद है कि आप लोगों को अच्छा लगा होगा। और अब हम चलते हैं हमारी मेहमान ख़ुसूसी जो कि ज़ैनब बीबी फ्रॉम अंकारा। ज़ैनब फ्रॉम अंकारा। अस्सलाम वालेकुम ज़ैनब। Oh, whoa, whoa, just a moment, my dear. Just one moment. Let me switch this off. Okay. Right, let's try this volume once again. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly.
No, your voice is distorted. Something is wrong somewhere. Your voice is distorted.
Let me just check. Is it better?
That's better. That's better. That's better. That's better. I can hear you properly now. How are you? Good?
Fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Can you see swollen cheek here? Swollen cheek. I think I'll probably be getting a toothache, so might have to go to the dentist. But you know that is life when you're getting old. You know it's the price of getting old, my dear. So yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, no worries. Inshallah, we will progress. So yeah. What have you got for us today? Before that, how's your week been?
Well, it's been really busy. I was working day and night.
Allahu
and
Akbar.
I hope I was beneficial to the society.
Inshallah. Is that with the reporting on your other job?
Yeah, I was making all kinds of news, mostly about health
Okay.
sector, and yeah, it was a busy week.
Busy week. Okay. Is Turkey still in lockdown, Zeynep, at the moment?
We're not.
No.
The lockdown has been passed.
All right.
It's the 1st of July.
Okay.
Now all free. We can go out.
All right. So, but
Like
people can come in from abroad. They can come and visit Turkey if they want to.
yeah, they can come into Turkey if they want to, but we have some terms. They have to be vaccinated against COVID-19.
Yeah.
And if they're not vaccinated, we're applying PCR testing at the airports.
Yeah.
If they're negative, then they can come in. But if they're in positive, we give them 14 days of lockdown in don't laugh. It's a thing in Turkey right now. If a tourist comes to Turkey and has COVID-19, hotels provide them lockdown facilities. They provide rooms, really. They have people serving them. We're good hosts in Turkey.
I know, but imagine coming on holiday and being locked up in a room for 14 days like a prisoner, and then you have to go back.
Just imagine after the 14 days.
Okay, all right, inshallah. Right, no worries. We will move on. I asked you last week if you would be kind enough to do a program between, because even before you were born, I was coming to Turkey, and I was very fortunate to meet your father, and he's watching. I messaged him and he said inshallah he will watch. So I hope he watches and he will phone in as well. But I messaged him, and like I said, when I met your he was a young boy then, and I met your grandfather Mustafa and your grandmother and all the family in Anch as well. So obviously we became very good friends. Alhamdulillah.
They had their hair on their heads.
I still got my hair. So yeah, and I your father was very much into the understanding between the Pakistani and and the Turkish people. But I swear I didn't really know, and I'm certain that a lot of Pakistani people don't know. So this will be a fantastic lesson for each and every one of us, and Pakistani people especially, inshallah. So before, without any further ado, I hand over to you, and you take it away, my dear.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about the relations between Pakistan and Turkey because we have very close ties, both cultural, historical, and now economical. And our governments refer our countries as brother countries. And we refer to Pakistanis as our brothers and sisters because
Alhamdulillah.
we share a history where Pakistan really helped us
Mm-hmm.
in our independence war.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I may, I just want to tell you.
Please, thank
Uh,
you.
Back when it was 1920s, there was a World War One, and after the World War One, we lost. The Ottoman Empire lost the war, and it was a very bloody war. And the occupying forces, the imperialist powers, were attacking Ottoman Empire from everywhere, and there were occupying forces coming to Ottoman Empire. There were a lot of battles at the same time going on everywhere, and there were Arabs who were living under the Ottoman Empire rule, and they were even um, having a fight against the Ottoman Empire. They were cooperating with the British and the other imperialist powers. And back then, we were losing the battles in every battlefield except for one. It was the Dardanelles. Do you know the Gallipoli?
Oh, okay. You were going to tell me about it.
There are two straits in Turkey, one in Istanbul, Bosphorus, and one in Gallipoli, it's in Çanakkale. And straits are very strategical places to conquer.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the strait, you have the both Asian and the European side of Turkey. They're very strategical. Therefore, we were just trying to protect our straits no matter what. And we were helpless. No one was helping us. Turkey was all alone in that war. And when no one was helping, there was our Pakistani brothers. They started a movement, a caliphate movement
Okay.
in Pakistan.
Okay.
Then there was no Pakistan, there was no Turkey. Just there was Muslim community
Hmm.
living, yeah, and it was before even Turkey and Pakistan. So our um, ties, our relations go generations
So
before.
it was the Ottoman Empire and then the Indian Empire, where the British were ruling at that time.
Raj. It was the area of British Raj.
Right, absolutely, yes, yes.
And during that war, they were there were two politicians, Ali brothers. Have you heard about them? Shakut Ali, forgive me if I'm pronouncing
No,
it
no.
wrong, and Muhammad Ali Johar.
Okay,
You know them?
yeah,
They they were politicians in the British Raj, and
okay.
they were doing all kinds of fundraising activities in order to send fundings to Turkish people, in order to help them in their war. And they were writers also. They were writing in Urdu Weekly and English Weekly Comrade, saying that Turks were justified in their wars and they have to be they have to be helping Turkish people against the British because British was the imperialist powers
Mm.
who tried to occupy both your lands back then and both ours.
Mm.
Therefore, they were just trying to go town by town, city by city. They had Green Road volunteers. They were asking for money for funds to send Turkey.
Okay.
And they were very successful. If you search for the Khalifa movement, it was a very successful movement. And in Turkey, our ancestors tell it like our Pakistani brothers sent whatever they had. For example, grandmas sent their bracelets, their earrings. They helped us with any way they could.
Mm.
And it was a very sentimental thing. It was a very sentimental moment. And
Absolutely.
today we remember it and we have news about it. We show it on screens, we show it on our sentimental valuable days and we talk about it. And there was another important figure. I think you know about him. Allama Iqbal,
Hmm.
Muhammad,
Allahu Akbar, yes,
you know about
yes,
him.
yes.
And He's also a very famous national poet of Pakistan.
Pakistan. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
say someone who doesn't know him, he is a very important figure. And he had the power to move people because he was touching them. He had the power of raising his voice. And he was also in the Khalifa movement. And he wrote poems. He gathered people around him. He was having all of these speeches, and he was once he gathered like thousands of people at the same place, and he was reading a poem about what he saw in his dream. He said, I saw Muhammad in my
Subhanallah.
dream last night. And he said, help the Turkish, help help our Muslim brothers and sisters there.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah.
It's a very sentimental and emotional meeting, and everyone was crying as they describe it. Everyone was crying. Everyone was praying. There were prayers coming all over. Everyone was saying, Amin, Amin, we will help them. And they helped us. And it was a very powerful thing because you are in the world everyone is trying to occupy you. And there are a Muslim community who is not even in the same place as you are. You have no connection. They're so far, far away, but they still want to help you with all they have.
Subhanallah.
Because back then, Pakistan people doesn't have that much either because they were under occupation at all times as well.
Mm.
It was something else.
But this,
I,
that Zainab reminds me of as what we are told when we are, when people tell us about Islam, is that the Muslims and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said the Muslims are like one body, and if one part of the body hurts, is in pain, the whole body feels the pain, and this is the beauty when we see it like this, that they were way apart, at different areas, and yet the people there, they had this love for the Muslim people here in Turkey, and they were feeling their pain, and the best way they could help them was to give them whatever they had.
yes, but we call Pakistan our brother country because none other Arabs did that. All claim to be Muslims, but they don't act upon the Muslim code, and they should have been. But they were rebelling against the Ottoman Empire. They were cooperating with the British.
But we know the history. We know the
Yeah,
history. That film of Lawrence of Arabia. I, as an actor, I've been often opportunity to do stuff like that. And when you read these plays and stories, because when it said Lawrence of Arabia, so naturally, you feel a love for Arabia. But when you actually know the history behind it and how it worked, it really breaks your heart. It's very, very sad for us to understand that Muslim people were used, and it's happening even now. It's happening even now.
in Palestine.
Hmm.
Cause of entire Palestine conflict. It's because of the Arabian conflict in the beginning, because they were not having their backs as fellow Muslims.
Exactly.
They were trying to occupy the lands of Palestine even before it was established as a
As a
country.
country.
So it's not something. It has nothing to do with Islam and being a Muslim. So I think it's very controversial.
Sure. 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 Yeah. Okay. But the thing I just read today was that almost 500 Israeli people have in the last few months. No, 5,000 Israeli people have been given nationality in UAE.
Oh,
5,000, 5,000. And yet Pakistani people coming from there, they've been working there like slaves, and they're not allowed to have nationalities. They don't have any rights. The Arabs there, the UAE, Emiratis, they treat them like animals, literally. They totally don't have any respect for them, and that's a very sad. And I've never, I've been there 2 or 3 times. Unfortunately, it's never been a pleasant place for me that I have ever enjoyed. So yeah, please carry on.
I think you're very right. It's a corrupt way of being a Muslim.
Mm,
It's I don't see them. I don't perceive them as an Islamic country.
mm,
Their all relations are based on economical success.
yeah.
No, they're not living in a Muslim lifestyle. They're not. Their policies are just against everything we know for as true.
Absolutely. Yeah. 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 Okay. So here we are now with the Muslim people now, in Pakistan, help in what was then India at the time. So then, what happened then? So the Ottoman Empire, then it was broken up by the powers of that time, yeah,
Yeah.
and divided up into small countries, which we now see as Iraq, Iran, Syria, Yemen. I don't know whether my history, Zainab, is not that very good, my dear. So I have to apologize. But what I see is the sadness is that we look here in Europe, the European market, EU. They are all joined together, their economy together, they look after each other, protect each other's back, and yet all the Muslim countries, they're thinking, how can we? I mean, even now, I was looking at the news the other day. The Americans are thinking, how can they break up Syria? How can they break it up into smaller countries? Into smaller
Yes,
areas.
we don't have the Muslim unity that
Mm,
we have to have,
mm,
but we have it because I don't know. In some countries, I'm just speaking not based on an example, but we have to have that union. But it's not like Pakistan and Turkey. In Turkey, we help our Muslim brothers and sisters. We help them in Palestine. We help them wherever we can. We send vaccines. We send money. We send funds.
mm,
But I don't see any other country doing that. And I think it's because of their conditions. Because not every Muslim country have the same conditions, have the same life standards, have the same opportunities to help,
mm.
and um, they become they're thinking like, what can I get more? What can I get more? What can I get more? And this starts a conflict.
The other thing is now, I think President Erdogan, he said that, I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that Pakistani people could actually get a dual nationality if they wanted to be a Turkish national and Pakistani national? Is that
Yeah,
true?
I think so. I saw a news about it, so it must be true.
Okay, well, I'm going to apply for to be a Turkish national.
We offer all kinds of um, citizenship offers. Turkey is a brother country for every Muslim country, in fact.
Sure,
We,
sure.
we love our Muslim brothers and sisters, and we
Absolutely.
don't hold any grudges for any other countries as well, because right now, even though the Arabs um, betrayed us during the World War One and our independence war, we
Mm,
still have good relations because we're still a Muslim country. They're still claiming to be a Muslim country. So we just offer what we can offer.
mm,
So it
mm.
should be like that because
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we're gonna. It's now that time.
it's a time for a nasheed.
Time for the nasheed. Okay, inshallah. So, guys, we stay tuned where you are, and inshallah we'll be back after this. We're gonna play a little nasheed. Which what's it? What's the you'll? How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce that one, Zainab? The first one.
The first one, let me just check. Bana seni gerek.
Uh huh. What is it? What's it about?
Um, I need you, but it's a very, how can I say, fine saying, not like I need you. I require
Uh
you.
huh. Is
It's
it?
meaning, and it's actually a poem by
Oh,
Dervish Yunus. Do you know
okay.
Dervish Yunus Emre? It's a Turkish dervish.
Inshallah. Okay. Well,
It's
we'll
a name
listen
of
to
it.
this. We'll listen to this, and we'll be back. People, stay with you wherever you are. And if you have any questions that you want to ask Zainab, then please feel free to call. She'll try and answer your questions if we possibly can. But until then, let's hear this nasheed. Inshallah, it's a poem, as Zainab said, and we'll see you back on the other side of this.
Aşkın aldı benden beni, bana seni gerek seni. Ben yanarım dünü günü, bana seni gerek seni. Ben yanarım dünü günü, bana seni gerek seni. Ne varlığa sevinirim, ne yokluğa yerinirim. Aşkın ile avunurum, bana seni gerek seni. Aşkın ile avunurum, bana seni gerek seni. Aşkın şarabından içem, Mecnun olup da düşem. Sensin dünü gün endişem, bana seni gerek seni. Sensin dünü gün endişem, bana seni gerek seni. Bana seni gerek seni.
Gözlerim gafletten uyan, uyan uykusu çok gözlerim uyan. Azrail'in kastı canadır inan. Uyan ey gözlerim gafletten uyan, uyan uykusu çok gözlerim uyan. Semavatın kapılarını açarlar, alemlere rahmet suyu saçarlar. Seherde kalkana hülle biçerler. Uyan ey gözlerim gafletten uyan, uyan uykusu çok gözlerim uyan. Seherde uyanırlar cümle kuşlar, dili dillerince tesbihe başlar. Tevhid eyler.
Okay, folks, we are coming back now and coming back live to join Zeynep in Ankara. I also have, Zeynep, we have a caller with us. I have my friend, our roving reporter, Hami. Hami is with us. Assalamu alaikum, Hami.
वालेकुम सलाम सर, क्या हाल है? ठीक ठाक है?
Alhamdulillah, मेरा प्यारा, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
सलाम अलैकुम ज़ैनब, सलाम अलैकुम ज़ैनब.
Alaikum assalam.
You okay? I was very much interested regarding Islamic way of common market. As you know, we do have Rabbi, shall I carry on?
Gigi, yeah. Please,
Yeah.
please.
We had Arab League. We have Arab League, don't we? Yes.
Hmm.
Now, Arab League supposed to be united together in order to work together commonly. And there is Islamic, as you know, which is Pakistan is a member too. But the problem is these
Um,
things are not coordinated together. And
Hami,
we could have
may
an
I
Asian Pacific kind of
So, Hami, एक
a
minute,
unity.
Hami, just 1 minute. Sorry, you want to say
I,
something?
I am having hard time hearing Hami clearly.
Oh,
It's parasites. It's come going the voice.
Okay. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear
You
you.
can hear me clearly. Okay, Hami, you're gonna have to speak me up a little bit